So I don't want to get into the substance of the judicial review because the matter is now sub judice. I said that the government was exonerated of the allegations made against it by Mr. McGrail and his counsel. We were. I was exonerated of the worst allegations made against me by Mr. McGrail and his counsel. But I was also, as I've also recognized, subject of sharp criticism in the report. It is that criticism that I am advised in some respects I can challenge, and that's what I'm challenging. The judicial review challenge here is in my name against the person who wrote the report, Sir Peter Openshaw. That's not disrespectful of Sir Peter Openshaw, in the same way as it's not disrespectful of a judge when you receive a judgment in civil proceedings and you appeal that judgment. This is a process. This is what the rule of law provides for. I committed myself at the beginning of this process to get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that process is not yet complete.
Is it complicated by the fact that the inquiry was commissioned by the government? Are you judicially reviewing yourself?
Not at all, because the fact that you are the claimant in proceedings, for example, in the Supreme Court, if you were dealing with civil proceedings, doesn't mean that if the judgment that you receive at the end from the Supreme Court is one that you as claimant are not happy with, you cannot also continue to appeal. It's not just the defendant that is able to appeal a decision, a judgment in the Supreme Court. Here, we were the instigators by notice of the inquiry that Mr. McGrail had been calling for, and we agreed should be carried out. So there is nothing in my view, therefore, as a result of that, which prevents the application for permission to bring judicial review proceedings in this way.
We had the Europe Minister, Stephen Doughty, describing the findings of the inquiry as extremely serious and deeply concerning, and talk of further action to ensure good governance. Has there been a conversation with the British government and yourself in this respect?
No, not at all, but I can tell you that everything that Stephen has said, I share. I mean, the inquiry was very, very seriously identifying in its evidence and in the report matters which must never happen again. I mean, we must never see a Commissioner of Police covertly recording his senior colleagues and senior government officials.
Yes, I get what you're saying, but it's a lot of spin because there are a lot of things that were against you personally.
Yes, but there's nothing to suggest that the things that are being referred to as serious are just the things that refer to me personally, and those are subject to the judicial review. There are many things there where people must, if they are objective, realize this is not just about Fabian Picardo. There are things there which are extraordinarily serious about the police and Ian McGrail and the conduct of Ian McGrail as Commissioner of Police and the conduct of the police in the course of the inquiry, and indeed thereafter some of the things that I consider to be very serious and the government has said we consider to be very serious about the allegations made by the whistleblowers of things that were going on at that time in the Royal Gibraltar Police, which are the subject of a potential investigation now. Those are very serious things. They must never happen again. This is a very mixed bag. This is not just Fabian Picardo did or did not do things.
But you can only give me the commitment that whatever you did will not happen again. Is that what you're giving a commitment to?
No, that's not right. I can give you a much broader commitment than that, because I am the Chief Minister of Gibraltar, and I'm going to take laws to the Parliament to ensure that things that were done, not just things which I might have done which have been criticised, but others have been done, cannot be done again without being offences. And the Royal Gibraltar Police is doing an exemplary job of bringing into effect recommendations which have been made against it, some of which they proposed during the course of the hearings, but not all of which they proposed, and which they are immediately ensuring are recommendations that are implemented. The government is also doing that, and the Chief Secretary has already immediately implemented some of the recommendations which were in respect of the government, and the government is bringing legislation to ensure that certain things change in the future. All of that deals with the extraordinarily serious issues that are identified in that inquiry report, not all of which, indeed not many of which, relate to me. A lot relates to a lot of other things going on. Now, if people politically want to talk just about the things that relate to me and the sharp criticism of me, that is politically, of course, acceptable. But that is not to take the report and the issues that it raises seriously enough, because that's just to turn it into a political tool and a political weapon. Here we have something else. Here we have an inquiry report that can take us forward, much as the inquiry reports in the United Kingdom that led to the creation of the Nolan Principles, led to changes in the way that the government service is managed in the United Kingdom happened, well, we can use that report also to take us forward. Or we can just use it as a tool to hit Fabian Picardo because we're sick of the sight of him or we're politically against him. That would be short-sighted and unfortunate.